Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, and it is the Afterbound Show episode 24, almost at 42. Um, and there's a lot to discuss. Of course, the protests and England, well, more the protests delivering another shambolic performance in a World Cup. We'll touch into everything that happened on that. And of course, England getting a battering against Afghanistan, which if South Africa won, I would have been more happier. But of course, the protest decided to run my 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 weekend that was going so well. So that probably means that Chelsea will lose, of course. Um, this weekend to run yet another something. So yeah, but joining me, going to discuss all about the cricket action in the World Cup is Mr. DJ Sinclair Ole. Yes,
Yes,
how
hello.
are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
And then, of course, Mr. Reliable Money. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thank you. And I should apologise, obviously, because I know that you had plans to start the stream at least half an hour before, and I couldn't join you even earlier. But now that I'm here, I always say that lateness isn't greatness, but I'm glad I was able to come here on time. And I'll tell you what, ironically, because of the timings, I haven't really been able to sit down and watch any games from start to finish. But maybe this weekend, now that I'll be off, I could possibly, watch maybe one or two. I know the Saturday game between South Africa and England will be big. And I'm not just talking about the rugby, I am talking about the cricket. So I tell you what, for people like Kevin Peterson and others who've got English and South African connections, there will be a lot of divided loyalties. Handbags at dawn, shoot at the OK Corral, uh, crockery thrown across the room, you name it.
Yeah, they will be very. It will be a spell of hearts, but there will be no mercy shown from the fans' aspect. Um, but yeah, let's get into the first match, of course, taking place the new round. We'll get into both these teams that are playing, and the final one of this round, according to Super Brew, but we know it's the next round, is New Zealand against Afghanistan. Now, New Zealand, 3 runs on the bounce, but how much can we read into it? Because if you look at the fixtures they have played, they played England first match, fair enough, but England didn't really turn up. But if you don't look context wise, okay, that's a big match. They got the win. But Netherlands, Bangladesh, I think those games are almost expected to win from a New Zealand aspect. So for me, New Zealand really haven't played a big team yet. I know they played England, but if you look into context, England didn't really turn up. But aside from England, they haven't played in a big team. And again, they will be looking just to get that run rate up before they play the likes of South Africa, Australia, India, and Pakistan. Um, and I think New Zealand have done well, unlike the Proteas and England. And I think no, Australia Australia lost India, which is fair enough. Um, but unlike us, who lost to the smaller nations, we should be beating to hopefully get our points up. They have done the opposite. So first, I want to say, though they are doing good, they haven't been tested. But we should give them praise that they just haven't underestimated these small countries and actually gone out and say, okay, it's no easy game. Let's go do that. Let's do it. Let's win our games. Which is fair enough. Fair play to New Zealand. 3 1 on the bounce. Um, but Afghanistan. Right, before we move on, I'm going to throw this one to Ollie. Um, Ollie, do you think we should be just almost looking um more a bit down? We shouldn't be spreading about how New Zealand have performed. Really just look at to their face and say, okay, we face the small nations. We'll wait and see how we perform against big nations. Or should we be like, hmm, maybe we need to read into something into this New Zealand performance? Ollie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think New Zealand can win this game. I think they've done well so far. Um, they should be winning this game.
Do you think they should win? Do you think we need to read more into the games they have won? Or should
Yeah,
we relax? Like since say you face some more teams, calmer.
yeah, I think yeah, base more team.
Yeah, wait, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, now, Mr. B, I won't come to you. I will come to you later, but welcome to the stream. Um, but Manny, of course, you and Mr. B can actually answer this question. I think Mr. B saw more of the match. You lost against Afghanistan. Now, we won't talk. We'll come to your performance against them, but what what was more what stood out for you guys in that Afghanistan performance? Was it the batting? Was it the bowling? What really stood out for you? Let's go to Mr. B first.
Oh yeah. Cheers, Hanno. Nice to see you at last, mate. I thought you was delaying the inevitable here. In the end, coming on here, there's something happened. I don't know what it was. What happened? Oh yeah, you lost.
I also
Oh,
don't know. I don't know.
oh, you lost. Yeah, sorry. But anyway,
Well,
no,
the picture I see behind you is from the T20 World
I
Cup.
know
So
it was last year, but
uh,
I thought I'd remind
uh,
you of that one as well. So,
so
but
from
anyway,
what I can remember, I don't think we have played so far. I think we're playing on Saturday, so we haven't played 3 games yet, as you can see on the um, on the standings. We've only played 2 games,
yeah, but
but
this
yeah,
this yeah, this has been crazy, mate, isn't it? Let's be honest. Who predicted any of this? I
yeah,
mean, I reckon the
but
final's going to be Netherlands versus Afghanistan in the final, way it's
who
going.
knows?
But
Who knows? But what did you make of Afghanistan? Like, what stood out for you?
uh, well, I think they wanted it more than us, to be honest. That's what it seemed like. We turned up so complacent, thinking, oh, look, we just got to turn up and beat this lot. That's going to be easy. You know, that's it. That's enough. We done it. And it ain't. We got so complacent. There's players that didn't perform again for us. Wokes again. I say Wokes. He shouldn't be playing. His bowling's all over the place. Sam Curran, the same as well. Really not
Yeah,
up to it. Some of the batting again as well is pretty
but
woeful.
yeah, we'll get onto it anyway.
But I think
In a bit.
Afghanistan performed superbly. I commend them. I clap them. I think they're great. I think they've done
Yeah,
superbly. I knew they'd beat somebody, a big team. I was hoping it wasn't us, but obviously it was. So
oh yeah, oh yeah. Unfortunately, it was. Money. What stood out for you from Afghanistan? Must be
I
as
think it's
the
Mr. B
determination.
pretty much summed Mr. B pretty much summed it all up. Really, they wanted it more, and I think I remember the chat sort of going how. I mean, basically, England won the toss and opted to bowl first in that game, and I think, Butler had confidence in his bowlers to do the job. The problem is, I think Afghanistan showed against India that their batsmen were more than capable of, playing some really good bowling. And sadly, when you take a look at the way we bowled, some of our bowling was absolute, buffet style bowling, and
yeah,
it was disgusting. And I want to just
yeah,
take a look at Yeah, I've got this one right here. Good guess. If we take a look at the Afghanistan innings, obviously Gurbaz at the top of the order with 80, and then Alec Hill with a 58. Those two guys are obviously the ones who really made sure that we had no real chance. And the figures itself, I mean, 4 overs for Chris Wokes, 41 runs. Sam Curran also exceptionally expensive. And when you have a situation where the opening bowlers you pick don't really stand up and make themselves counted, you're asking for trouble. Only Adil Rashid and to some extent Mark Wood can look back on their day with any real credit. And I know that Livingston and Root also contributed 14 overs of spin for 52 runs, but and 2 wickets. But that poor start where we allowed them a century opening partnership, it pretty much broke our backs. And I'm actually reading an article over here on where's that sound coming from?
Yeah, I can hear a lot of sound in the background. It's not my end. It's not here.
Yeah, it's only just.
Yeah. So listen, let's make it clear that if there's any
it's you, Ollie.
No, it is you. We muted you, and it's gone. Now it's perfect. So let's make it a point that whenever we hear some background noise, we try and mute our mics. And I've got an article over here on the BBC which says England is somehow lacking confidence in their poor start. I think it's fair to say that poor spell from the bowlers and the opening partnership of 114 between Rahman Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran, it really shook us to the core. We lost all sorts of confidence, and that's not the type of performance that you'd expect from a team defending its title. And now we've left ourselves in an even bigger hole. It would have been one thing if we had just been able to recover after the New Zealand win by beating both Bangladesh and Afghanistan, then moving forward with a little bit of confidence. But with this Afghanistan defeat, we're staring down at the barrel, and we now have a situation where we might need to win 5 of our 6 remaining games just to make the semi-finals. Matthew Mott saying, although England are low in confidence, he's not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and has made it clear that there won't be any wholesale changes. So worryingly, Mr. B, we could see Chris Wokes in. And that worries me because this would probably be the time to throw in someone like a Gus Atkinson to give Wokes a bit of a rest. Of course, the Arun Jaitley Stadium at Delhi is normally a batsman's paradise, but that doesn't excuse a poor bowling display. We'll always look at minor tweaks, says Mott, but he's not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater after a couple of bad performances. I'm sorry, mate. As an Aussie, you should know better than that. You need to take a look at a performance like that and say, you know what, that is not the type of performance you'd expect. And if Wokes has not been bowling well all tournament, then maybe you should consider a bit of a change.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he says, and I quote, the 2 things that we're missing is the confidence. That confidence, puff your chest out, go out there and take the game on, which this team has been renowned for over a long period of time. You don't lose the ability overnight, but you can lose your confidence, and that's quite important. And maybe it's our general attitude, our ability to do little things, bowl in those partnerships when we're bleeding from one end, and then with the bat just being a little bit braver. We pride ourselves on putting the opposition under pressure, and on reflection, we've been the reactive team in those 2 games. So we've got to turn around really quickly. And Wokes' struggles are noted over here. He's led England's pace attack for 8 years, but so far he's conceded 95 runs in 11 overs with the new ball so far. But Mott says he's got a few credits in the bank. He might not have been his best, but he says form is temporary, class is permanent, and he's backed Wokes to regain his form. But this is the worry now, because we're in a situation, as I said, where if we lose to South Africa, we have to win our 5 remaining games.
Yeah.
And so I just wonder if, maybe the selection for the World Cup squad was a little bit muddled in a way. I know we're probably going to talk about how we might have we couldn't have picked Jason Roy because of his injury issues. But then if his injury issues were so bad, why was he asked to turn out for Ireland and then have him refuse a call up? And then if our bowling is so poor, why didn't we consider someone like a Chris Jordan who played his part in our T20 World Cup win in Australia? I just think when it comes to, I mean, for our two spinners, we've got the two main spinners and the two, at least two or three good backup spinners in Root and Livingston who can certainly do more than turn their arm over. And I don't even know if we can even run the risk of playing Ben Stokes against South Africa. So maybe it all boils down to the selection and how we put all our chips on Ben Stokes somehow being wheeled out on a Zimmer frame to somehow
fit now, isn't he? He's fit now, isn't he? Apparently, he's supposed to be fit.
If he is, then that's fine. But then he's going to have to. Mott and company are going to have to accept that he won't bowl. His hip just can't handle bowling pace. He might have to bowl some spin, and so. If I were Matthew Mott, I wouldn't be going into the South Africa game saying, "Chris, I trust you, mate. You've got credits in your bank, and I'm going to back you to do well."
Yeah.
Privately, I think Mott will be telling him, "Son, you've got to get your act together, bowl sharper in the nets, and make sure you get your line and length right." Maybe the pitches haven't helped him, but when you've played for as long as he has, you've got to have the nows to be able to somehow deal with it. Or maybe it's just a case of the batsman having proved to be too powerful for him. Whether it's Conway and Ravindra or Gurbaz or anyone else, he just hasn't been able to hack it. And when he struggles, you see how the rest of the bowling struggles too.
Well, they're top heavy with the bowling as well, Manny. They're so top heavy with the bowling. Why didn't they throw them other batsmen in like Phil Salt or Duckett? With the batsmen, they're more aggressive. We'll go at the bowling,
Phil Salt, mate. Brilliant call. Yeah. If memory serves me right, he actually came to the T20 squad as a substitute and played in the final, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
discard him, I don't get it. Or Duckett.
Yeah. Duckett, maybe not so much, but still, I mean, I'm glad you agree with me. Our selection was a little bit misguided in many ways, and so I don't want to say too much about it. I'm just going to say right now that we've got some problems. We were complacent against Afghanistan, and I think I'm now starting to wonder if Butler's the right man to take the team forward. He's led the team magnificently, but tactically, I just don't know if he's able to really make something happen with his bowlers when the situation demands it. So we've got problems.
Would you bring Root back as captain, or what, if he wants it or not? Or
if he's willing to continue to play until the 2027 World Cup, I mean, I suppose he'd have to be the only option. I wouldn't have him back as Test captain by any means, but for the one-dayers, I mean, you could consider it, maybe.
Yeah, but we'll touch furthermore on England. But everyone going for New Zealand win against Afghanistan?
Easy. New Zealand will have done their homework, and lightning will not strike twice in the same place.
Fair. But welcome, Stephen. Yeah, yourself. Alf.
Stephen, how you doing, man?
Hi, guys.
It's been on the stream, mate, earlier. Thanks for that.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. No problem. Anytime.
I want to give a question to you. Of course, India, now 3 wins on the bounce, still alongside New Zealand, the only team to not have lost. They play Bangladesh. Bangladesh have beaten Afghanistan, lost to England, and lost to New Zealand. But how good were India against Pakistan for you, Stephen? Or do you think it was more a case of Pakistan just collapsing?
Oh no, India were brilliant against Pakistan. It was like a practice for them. They were just their bowling was on point. Their batting was. They were just stroking the ball around and taking Pakistan for mugs. Really, they were just hitting sixes, fours all over the place. It was just like batting practice. It really was. India looked absolutely brilliant against Pakistan.
And bowling wise, to do.
Of course, their bowling is on point. It really is. They know how to play them pitches because it is their own backyard. They know how to play them pitches. They're perfect. Their bowling's okay. Like Manny says, they can have 3 spinners they wanted to. They can have 2 spinners. They can have no spinners they wanted to. They're still bowling on point.
Yeah, fair enough. Bangladesh, of course, lost to New Zealand, which was expected. and I think they were also poor in that game. I just maybe need to let me just have a look at the
Bangladesh bowling's better than their batting. To be fair, I found.
yeah. I
is.
just want to look at the scorecard because I can't quite remember the scorecard they had. So, but yeah, I will have a look at that. They do have some tough games after this Afghanistan game, New Zealand. But I just want to look at Bangladesh, New Zealand. Oh, Bangladesh scored 245 for 9. They also had a batting collapse, I believe.
Yeah.
Bangladesh, because at one stage they
It's strange with Bangladesh because when they bowl, when they bat,
no, sorry,
when they,
yeah. Bangladesh just lost a lot of wickets, but there was that big partnership from 56 for 4 to 152. That's I think not 7th wicket partnership between in Shakib Al Hassan and then Rahman. So and after that it was really just a batting collapse. Really, the other two lost.
it's strange.
The
They
rest
put
of
on
the
a good show, and then all of a sudden it just the good partnership they've done just is no point in having it because they just collapsed.
yeah.
Because they put on they put on a good show, like you said, they had 200 odd and a good partnership, and then all of a sudden that partnership's all been wiped out because the other people that come in haven't been able to back it up.
Yeah.
That's their downfall.
And of
I'm just
course,
looking at the table, Hanno. Why are Netherlands still bottom? They got 2 points now, aren't they?
this
They're
one
Sri
has
Lanka.
been updated.
They're above Sri Lanka.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
on-
it's got, on the
yeah,
table, mate, it's got them bottom.
Yeah.
No
I've seen it.
Yeah,
No,
on the app it hasn't updated it
They're
yet.
above Sri Lanka. They're above Sri Lanka. They're off the bottom now. They're off the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sri
It will
Lanka
change
bottom, aren't
on
they?
the app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zain, I will get to that comment later on. But Bangladesh, they have been at times they have been impressive.
Try to be.
Yeah, try to
Yeah.
be, but just
Sorry.
nothing really. Kane Williamson, of course, retiring hurt.
That's a big blow.
Biko, they, I think, run out and their ball when they threw it at the stumps. It's fun. Let's just see Oleg. Got a bit of background noise on Oleg's side, so when I do ask him something, we will get to him. Or Ali, if you want to just quickly say something, you can just unmute and say something. So yeah. But India, any chance for Bangladesh? Really?
No.
No
One word,
chance.
no.
No chance.
No chance. Ollie?
Absolutely no chance.
Yeah, I think India will win this game. Yeah.
Fair. You know what? Easy. Let's go easy. And then the big one, Friday, Australia, Pakistan.
Well, Australia have got to win at last, haven't they? They've got to win now. So.
Australia got to win. Australia
2
got the
points.
win. Must win for Australia. Pakistan also must win really for them because they can't lose, but it won't be the end of the world because they know, of course, England and South Africa play each other.
No, I've got a feeling
and-
Pakistan will win this one,
and-
you know. I think
Yeah, I'm
Pakistan will.
going with Pakistan on this.
Yeah,
You guys reckon?
yeah.
I think they've just got a bit. I think they know their flaws. What happened against India? They knew what happened. They'll learn from that, and I think they'll come out. With a strong performance against Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Australia aren't the
I
false
think
now, are
Australia-
they? So,
I think Australia might get a bit of confidence from that and I think they have a good record against Pakistan, Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Same team.
2021.
you forget how Australia are now. They're
Pakistan
not the
lost
team
to
they
them in.
were.
They used to be, yes, I know. You can't look at past performances. They're not the team they used to be.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. But it is a tough one. But I wanna go to. Let me go to Ollie quickly on this one. Australia. Do you think? What do you think is the main problem? Batting, bowling?
All there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're batting. I don't know.
I think batting, because
Yeah.
they haven't looked good batting wise. Also, because
Yeah.
if I just have a look at the bowling wise, batting wise, this tournament, what they Australia, let's go matches. So in this tournament, they haven't, except against Sri Lanka, they haven't gotten past 200 runs. The highest they have gotten in the three matches they've played is 215. Of course, that was the run chase.
That's
So
it. That's it all.
yeah, I think both batting and bowling is pretty bad. But I think the bat so deep. The thing with Australia, but nobody really seems to get runs, especially the top three: Mitchell Marsh, David Warner, Steve Smith, um, and nobody really seems to kick on. They all get starts, and some get just over 50, and then they lose their wicket. Like that one of Mitchell Marsh run out when
Yeah.
he's on 52. But luckily they weren't chasing a big score. So yeah. So, but we will see. Bowling wise, they're not that great. Um,
I mean, if Australia bat first, I can see Pakistan getting them out quite cheaply, to be honest, because they got great bowlers, Pakistan. A lot of
yeah,
great bowlers there.
Pakistan are really great. Are they're a tight unit? I think they
Yeah.
and I think they will move on to the Indian result.
Yeah.
But I want to ask my next question on Baba, but I will wait till he is back.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. The reason why I've switched off my screen is because I'm actually watching the England-Italy game, and I don't want to be disrespectful
Well,
by
they
standing
started
up
yet, is it?
for the
It's not
anthems.
started yet, is it?
Not
No.
started. They're in the tunnel, but when they come for the anthems, I'll stand up. But yeah. So, what was your question about Babar Azam?
What do you think has been going wrong for Baba Azam? Because coming into the tournament, he wasn't really in good form, and I think of the past World Cups I've seen, the T21 that just happened, and this one right now, he hasn't really been performing in the World Cups. Are we maybe reading too much into it, or is he still a class player? Because I haven't really seen him turn up in a big game and get loads of runs.
I do seem to remember, though, Hanno, in the T20 World Cup in Australia, that he was obviously, as captain of the team, he had to be responsible for tactics and trying to rally the team after that loss against Zimbabwe. And somehow, I don't want to mention how, but they ended up qualifying for the semis, and then he took them to the final. And his batting actually improved. It's a case of form being temporary, class being permanent, and I still think that once he gets his mind into it, he'll be just fine. He and Rizwan, of course, despite batting at 3 and 4 in the ODIs while opening in T20s, are still very much the batting mainstays. So a lot will depend on them. I actually see them. I like Mr. B's observation. I can see Pakistan, somehow being unpredictable and nicking a win because, look, I know Zampa took 4 wickets against Sri Lanka, but he was bowling with some back spasms. And his type of spin bowling will be meat and drink for the Pakistan batsmen. So I think Pakistan should be able to win. And this could also be the game where Baba really comes to the party. So let's not read too much into it. He's still a fine batsman and a class act.
Fair enough. But predictions must be, Stephen.
I'll go first. I'll go first briefly. Pakistan to win by either 30 runs or 4 wickets.
Pakistan. Yeah, Stephen and Steve.
I'll go, Steve.
Yeah, Pakistan by 40 wickets or by 4 wickets or 60, 4 wickets or 50 runs.
Fair. Mr. B.
I won't go with a sort of score one, but I'll just say I think Pakistan will win it. I'd say comfortably. I'd say.
Give us a prediction. Come on, Steve. Stop sitting on the fence.
I don't know. Pakistan by say 50 runs and 9 wickets.
Fucking hell! All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. Wow.
Ollie, your prediction?
I'll go Pakistan to win.
Pakistan to win.
Maybe.
Oh, disappointing.
Although you never know, Australia could do it. I think. I don't know.
You're going Pakistan. I am going to, for this game, I love Pakistan. But because we lost the Netherlands, I need an Australian one. I need Australia to beat these lots. Because just as South Africa,
Yeah, I know the other one go for Australia.
The apple card, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut
He just can't get over the Netherlands one. That's what it is, isn't it?
We'll come to your team, Steve. We'll come to your team. Netherlands, Sri Lanka. This one. This could be a tight one.
Could Sri Lanka actually win one at last year? They should do, you'd think, but I don't know.
Well, Netherlands will be flying high. And one thing I have to give credit to
National anthem, yeah.
To Netherlands is they do their homework and they look at every batsman and say, okay, he likes to play these shots, how can we get him out? Which is the good thing about them. So Netherlands, they do their homework. Sri Lanka, I think, have batting wise, they look good. It's just that middle order. Kusa Pereira, again, what an innings from him. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But Netherlands, they play Sri Lanka. I think they just need one game where the entire team performs. But because the bowlers are doing their work, like at times, but the batters are just disappointing. Netherlands, they do their homework. It will be a close one.
Yeah, I think Sri Lanka might win this, you know. I'm going to go for that, you know.
I'm going to go Netherlands.
No, I
What do you
think
reckon
Sri
Sri Lanka
Lanka.
will win, Matt?
I think they've got to turn up at some stage and win one. And I think it could be this.
Yeah, it could be. That 2014. I reckon they will just turn up against the Netherlands.
Yeah, I think I don't think it'd be a massive win. I'd say narrow, but I think they will just beat them.
Fair enough. Money. Netherlands, Sri Lanka.
Netherlands all the way. I think one of the things which has really impressed me about the Netherlands, and I did see quite a bit of their bowling today, I couldn't see their batting, is that they are actually everything that Sri Lanka isn't right now, and they're a unit, as you've sort of alluded to, Hanno. They managed to. I was a bit frustrated, really, when I was watching Harald Kotze. I hope I got the pronunciation right, by the way, because you know, there were times when I thought that Edwards really needed to play to have a slip fielder over there when Kotzer was, scoring a lot of runs in the third man area. And had there been a slip at the very least, or third man been a bit narrower, that wouldn't have happened. But eventually, I think um, the Netherlands just played the more patient cricket, and they got um, and they quite frankly deserved their win. And Scott Edwards has led the team magnificently, but every single member of that team has made a contribution. And it's bad enough that Sri Lanka have made the start that they have, but losing their captain, Dasun Shanaka, is also a pretty big blow. I think the test captain, Dimut Karunaratne, has not had a game yet. A lot's going to depend on their top order batsmen to try and do very well, but their bowling doesn't really inspire that much in terms of confidence. And so if the Netherlands can avoid making the mistakes they made against South Africa today when they were batting in the top order before Edwards and lower order, made hay. I think it was, during the day, so the sun was shining, make hay while the sun shines and all of that. And yeah, I think this should be a win for the Netherlands. It's not going to be a very easy win per se, but I just think that if England are low on confidence, Sri Lanka's confidence is quite frankly shot to pieces. They're scoring well enough, but their bowling has been absolutely, completely off. And I think this should have a Netherlands win all over it, but it will be a tight win. I'm going to go for 3 wickets or 20 runs.
Fine. Ollie, Netherlands, Sri Lanka.
England have just kicked off.
Netherlands, Sri Lanka. Both teams aren't doing well, so it's going to be hard to call a winner. I think.
Ollie, I don't know if you know, Netherlands just beat us, South Africa.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Netherlands beat South Africa. Yeah, but I think Netherlands will win this. They just come off a win, so yeah, I'll go Netherlands.
Confidence, yeah. The background noise is away, so yeah. You can keep your mic on if you want.
Oh, it's away.
Yeah, that's why. And then the big one at the Wakete Stadium, Mumbai, the mighty English against South Africa. Of course, South Africa and England both getting humbled by Netherlands and Afghanistan. Now, let me just have my say on this whole debacle. Let's talk some positive news. Some positive news is that this is that that we have lost our first game of the World Cup. It's a positive thing. Usually, you don't want to go on a purple patch and then lose in the semi-final or lose in your last game and you're out. If you lose at the beginning of the tournament, it's fine. And luckily, there's still 7 games to play, 6 games to play now. So got our loss out of the way. That's fine. Can't let it happen again. Maybe going to India, but that's fine. But negatives. Where do we start? So first of all, bowling exceptional until the last 10 overs. I don't know what they were thinking. Last 8 overs. When you lose control, and I want to get the scorecard up to just tell you guys the story behind it and where we were compared to where they ended up. So at one stage they were 140 for 7. No, even before that they were 112 for 6. 26 overs in. I think easy walk in a park. South Africa will bowl them out for under 200. But what then happens is that um, Scott
No,
Edwards. Oh, Scott Edwards and Scott Edwards and Logan Van Beek. Most Scott Edwards put up a partnership of 20, 28, which is a good bowling point, and then Roelof van der Merwe, the guy that was kicked, that left South Africa um, because of the quota rule, and I absolutely hate this rule. Um, it, I honestly I despise the rule because uh, it's not that I don't think the players we have on top to their level. We have missed out on so many stars that have played for for other countries and done so well, which I just just terrible. Um, you look what's his name? Um, can't remember, but one of them he played last in 2015 for us. He left because of the quota rules. I think 20.
Engelbrecht, I think, is his name, right?
No, he didn't play for the Netherlands. But he also went. Um,
Um, it could be Keaton Jennings, whose father Ray was a leading wicketkeeper back in the days of apartheid, and never really got to play an official international game for South Africa. But I think he did play against a few touring sides. Was it Keaton Jennings?
no, it's someone. I'll get his name now. I'll get his name. But yeah. Um, I'll think of his name now. But it's fine. He recently played for us too. Just have a look at our matches. But yeah. Just I don't know what it's a rule, but it's fine. It is what it is. I think he even played for us against Netherlands. What's his name? Did he play? Or we didn't? Even the fact is, we beat them in a warm up game in a series. We beat them in a 50 over match. So I don't know. But I'll get to his name. I'll get to his name. Um, and but bowling wise, what were we doing? Like honestly, why leave? They are 212 for six and even 140 140 for seven. You should be stopping them from getting 200. Rula van der Merwe should not be getting um past two past 20 runs, but it did. Um, Now it definitely does. Even England, it puts them in a decent position if they beat us, but we cannot lose this game against England. We cannot. Same for England. It's a must win. Um, Pakistan, Aussies. Well, that game. I think whoever loses that game, I think their tournament is over. Um, can Afghanistan go on a run? Well, they have a chance if they can beat New Zealand. They've definitely got a chance. Balgaf. Tournament is wide open. It is. It is. Sky for England. It's going to be a great one, especially New Zealand and India play each other on Sunday. After this one, we'll probably have a quick show. Or I might just try and get the lads to record a video and post it on. To record the next set of matches because Saturday is going to be busy with football and etc. So, um, but how can we leave them? And then the batters, the batting department, it's just awful. It, honestly, it's just awful. Um, I don't know what to say. From a batting department, um, Temba Bavuma. I know he's our captain, but if he's not producing, remove the captaincy. Aidan Markram leading up to the tournament in some games, I think against Australia, he was the captain. It doesn't make sense. Why is he playing? Um, it just irritates me. Um, that he is playing. Um, and you look at his wickets. He doesn't use his feet. He's going to defend the ball. He doesn't use his feet. Fair enough. Quentin was unlucky. Um, and Rossi Van Addison. Why is he going on his back foot to play? It's a football. Drive it. Um, no, sorry. I think that was Markram. Rossi with the sweep shot. It's never on, but just a total diabolical, shambolic performance. And it's the first time I've lost to Netherlands in ODI. Just breaking records at the moment against Netherlands. They probably want to play us every week, every game in the World Cup at this stage. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Uh, we'll get to that. But as for this game, I'm not confident because, as Balav said, England will probably start Ben Stokes
Yeah.
against us. I think you. I think England will start him because I think even if it's not ready, I think he will tell them put me in the lineup. I will field a few
He'll only
overs.
be batting though. He won't bowl. He'll only be
Yeah,
batting.
I think in what he might say, put me in a few overs in the field, and then take me off, put the 12th man on the field, like, and then I would just bat because Ali Akani was missed, I think, against Afghanistan. Bad days happen, they do. Ireland beat England, happened through Bangladesh, beat India. Did they beat them?
I wouldn't say that Ali was missed against Afghanistan
No.
because Root actually turned his arm over quite
And
well.
Livingston as well.
Yeah, didn't
Livingston.
didn't really pick up many wickets, but certainly he did more to tie an end down. And it was really
Yeah.
only Rashid with his leg break that proved to be the main um, difference, really, between England being completely humiliated with the ball and somehow managing to get a modicum of respectability, only for the batsman to completely muck it up.
Yeah.
And if you're not
Yeah.
confident for South Africa and England, I'll tell you what. Mr. B won't like me to admit this, and neither will Ollie and Stephen, who I think might have had some Wi-Fi issues. But
Oh, he's
we've
gone.
got reason to be not more confident than you, because if we have to roll
Yeah.
out Ben Stokes on his Zimmer frame when the boy can barely even walk, you know, that just goes to show how low we've sunk. And for what I've said, especially after what I said with regard to Matthew Mott saying that there won't be any wholesale changes, that
Well,
doesn't fill me with confidence. I
England
think it's
got
fair to
free
say.
kick here. Free kick.
I think
England.
it's. I think it's fair to say that the only way we might have a chance of winning this game is if we bat first and somehow try our best
Ooh.
to negate
It's like-
your.
Ali and Chennai. Can't imagine a better scenario. Also, his
Yeah.
batting game break over Arab Brook. I think
What do
maybe
you
Yeah.
know
over.
about that, Manny? I'm watching the England game as well. The football as well.
Yeah, it was Rashford with the free kick instead of
Yeah.
Trippier. So not as good as his free kick against France. But anyway, back to the cricket.
No.
So we've got more reason to be not so confident as you, and I think the only way we can possibly win is if we bat first. Because I'll tell you what, if Matthew Mott is really going to live and die by backing Chris Wokes and saying, you know what, we're going to trust you, we cannot have this fellow bowling, especially if the Wankerhead pitch will, like other pitches in the tournament, offer more for the batsman. I don't see the pitch as it is turning into a flat batting sort of pitch where the bowlers won't make any real hay. It could very well be that that it will be a fairer pitch and the bowlers might have more of an advantage in the second innings. So England will have to bat first, post a total like they did against Bangladesh, if memory serves me right, and then just take it from there. You can't ask Chris Wokes to bowl against the South African batsman, and you're being really harsh on Tender Bavuma. I thought his leadership against South Africa in the home series before the World Cup was excellent. He also looked to be getting back into some decent form, and Markram has also really stepped up to the plate. So it was just a case of maybe a little bit of complacency. You mentioned that Rassi tried the sweep, I think, and
Yeah,
Markram, was completely beaten all ends up, and then Bavuma's dismissal was also not something to remember. But look, our batsmen also against Afghanistan, they were quite frankly unable or unwilling to really assert themselves, and we also have to talk about Joss Butler's own batting form. He plays beautifully for a few balls, but then goes out almost as quickly as he comes in, and we need a captain's innings from him. So our only hope of winning is to be is to bat first. And I think Bhargav has said it. Chases have been hard. People are overthinking the due issue. There's more pressure away from home unless you're India, and that's the whole issue. You've got to be willing to take advantage over here and try and bat first. I think the reason why we lost against New Zealand was because, frankly, our bowling was, pants, as we would say back in England. And, we've got to trust our batsmen a little bit more and then make sure we put up enough runs for the bowlers to try to do something with it. And I can't see us bowling as badly as we did against New Zealand. But, it's hard to tell whether we were worse against the Kiwis or Afghanistan. But we've got to bat first, and we've got to start playing a lot better. And we've also got to try to negate the seam attack, because if you take a look at the Netherlands innings, I thought you started off brilliantly. I mean, Ngidi, Janssen, Rabada, Janssen in particular.
1-0 Italy. 1-0 Italy.
Come on, Italy. Viva Italia.
Oh no.
Italia. Oh,
we'll have to see if that affects or if the goal difference gets affected. But anyway,
Manny, before you continue, Ollie, you need to go so quickly. Share us
Yeah.
your socials.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, I think England will beat South Africa. But yeah, you can find me Deej and Care on YouTube. It says down there. Stream will be coming soon. I haven't done a stream in a while. I need to do a stream. Ollie.Sinclair 556 on Instagram as well. Yeah, big up Hannah for everyone.
yeah, good to have you on Ollie. But yeah, Manny. See you, Ollie. Hope you stay well. Manny, you can
cheers, Ollie.
continue.
Yeah, because I mean, when you started well with Ngidi, Janssen, and Rabada bowling quite well, Janssen in particular has literally been a find for South Africa. Left arm seamer, bowls from a high action, and can definitely get some decent bounce, I'd like to think. And it was after he was taken off the attack that Edwards started to get some confidence, and of course, Ngidi and Rabada came back and were tongued around the ground. Gerald Kotze also was hit out of the park, and Maharaj of course did his best, but he basically was asked to bowl in the early and middle overs, and of course he ended up bowling his quota of 9. I think there were 3 quotas of 9 and 2 of 8, but we can't be too careful, and we have to make sure that we negate the seamers, because you've bowled your seamers bowled superbly first up. And so if we can do that and at least try and negate Maharaj's left arm spin or Shamsi's left arm Chinaman, or hopefully not both, then we might have a chance. But I know that Root has been in great form, but he didn't do very much against Afghanistan, and so it's going to be the others are going to be on our batsmen to try and do very well. I know that wheeling Ben Stokes out might provide a little bit of a fear factor, but then the New Zealand bowling attack and the South African bowling attack are chalk and cheese. Having said that, I would love to see Stokes get tucking into the spinners, and yet I just don't know if that might necessarily happen. I think Maharaj and Shamsi, either one of them or both of them, will relish the opportunity to try and, play it as insecurity or injury or whatever. But we have reason to not be so confident. And I think, South Africa are nothing if not resilient. I think you will recover. And let's also bear in mind we don't have the best record against you lot when it comes to the ODI World Cups.
No, with us, record doesn't matter. Netherlands hadn't beat us, and they went on to beat us for the first time in 7 or 8 games at the World Cup. But Mr. B, what do you think? This is the last game we'll do. I'll
Yeah.
probably try and organize with the lads on Saturday. Maybe we do a pre-recorded video or a quick stream midday. Because I know, of course, the football's on, and by the time England South Africa finish, it will probably be Chelsea Arsenal. So we'll see
Yeah.
how we do that. But yeah, um,
Right. What I think, to be honest with you, I think if we don't change our team, and it looks like we're not going to, if they don't bat properly or bowl properly, Wokes or whatever, Curran, anyone like that doesn't bowl well, then we're going to lose again, and we'll lose to you lot again. So I can't see it changing,
I wouldn't be
because
too
if
bad.
he don't make wholesale changes, which he won't, we got the same team. If they do the same thing again, we're in shit street against you lot. So as far as I'm concerned, because you'll be better than us, even if you just lost to the Netherlands, you'll still probably have the same team again, maybe. I don't know if you'll change it or not. I doubt it, but I'm sure you could beat us with whatever you got there. To be honest, if we perform like that way again, complacent and not, putting a good performance, it's the same again. It's Groundhog Day yet again. So, as far as I'm concerned, because you need to do something, England. They need to. I mean, it's only really Brooke that stood up the other day with 66 with a bat, that done something. And the bowlers, Wood and Rashid, they're only ones that stood up. Maybe Livingston, Root, but it's not good. They need to all perform. We need to get a solid performances from them in the middle order, especially. Because if the top order won't do it, can't do it, and some are performing and some aren't, it's no good. Might as well kiss this tournament goodbye. So,
But it is definitely eliminated. I think Australia and England, there's pressure on them more than us and Pakistan.
Yep.
Because I don't think I've ever heard of a team that has lost 3 games and has qualified for the semi-final. So it will be interesting. England, South Africa. Well, if we lose to England, we still need to play the big teams. If beating
Exactly.
Australia, we still need to play the big teams. I think England, they've got an excuse because you've played England, you've played New Zealand, and who else did you play? New Zealand, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. So in 4 matches, you have played two tough games. But yeah, there is still lots of games to go. So, but I think at least from a South Africa perspective, we've already lost our game. I've already like.
I'm going to
usually-
disagree. My quick
Usually a team loses 1 game, but luckily we have lost it now earlier on the tournament. But yeah, Annie.
Yeah, but listen, my prediction. I mean, as like you did with France, I'm going to say that my heart will obviously say England, but my head will say South Africa, because I just think when it comes to the way South Africa had performed coming into the tournament, you've been outstanding in the games you played, and this was just seriously a bad day at the office. But you are nothing if not a resourceful team, and I think you will find a way to recover from this. We are completely out of sorts, and unless we get our act together, we can kiss the tournament goodbye. I mean, I know that when it came to the France-South Africa game, your head was saying France, but you just never know what happened. It was a case of the substitutes and the senior players stepping up magnificently. I know that Mbongani was man of the match, but shout out to Etzebeth, obviously, for his drive and the try he scored, which really gave you the lead, and a few others. But with the rugby, it's as if, as Bonnie Tyler famously sang, and Mr. B will know this, we're holding out for a hero. Who can possibly step up and be our hero? It's hard to say. How long can we depend on an unfit Ben Stokes, who will almost certainly retire after this tournament? I'm going to go for a tight win for South Africa, which should be enough to effectively damage England's hopes. But similar to the the Netherlands, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Australia game, it should be a close win by 3 wickets or 20 runs.
Fair. I'm going to back England. I just think our confidence is shot. So yeah, Mr. B, you going England or
More
South
shot
Africa?
than ours? We lost to Afghanistan, for Pete's sake.
I'm going to go with Manny on this. I think I'm going to go for it. It's going to be a tight win for South Africa. Because I just can't see it changing if England don't perform. We don't turn up. It's going to be the same thing again. So I'm going South Africa. As much as I hate it to say it, I'm going that.
Yeah. And I think it's fair to say, Hanno, if I can just say a few things about the quota system. I know that after today, if you never ever see Roelof van der Merwe playing against you, it will be too soon. Not to mention Engelbrecht and Ackerman and others. But look, the quota system obviously was done with the intention to try to get a lot more, coloured players into the game. And fair play, many of the black and mixed race players who've played for South Africa, many of them, almost all of them, have been, quality and proven themselves quite well. I think it's that provincial level where that's been pretty much the problem. And Mr. B and I will remember, obviously, how Kevin Peterson came to England. Yeah. He quite rightly spit his dummy out at being, dropped for the Natal side in favour of a guy named Ghulam Bodhi, who ended up, becoming... He actually ended up being charged with match fixing in a later subplot. And he knew that Ghulam was never as good as him. And obviously, neither the coach at the time, Phil Russell, was willing to help him. And even Ali Bakr apparently was a little bit, indifferent towards him and his father. And that's when Yanni Peterson decided, son, you're leaving South Africa. This quota system will never finish. So especially since Ali Bakr has made it clear that he's going to back the system and that the players will be good enough and they will play. It's time for you to leave. And you're going to lose a lot of other fine players. Kyle Abbott was one I really, really liked watching bowl. But sadly, he ended up seeing it fit to leave and play, throw in his lot with county cricket in England. I think he was with Hampshire last time I checked. But he, of course, had the best bowling figures on debut for South Africa, if memory serves me right. So, look, the quota system isn't perfect, and I would like to think that, the administrators have got to be a little bit more flexible with this. And if you have a situation where, you don't quite have the necessary quality and talent of players who might just not be, who might be of a different race, you can't select people that way. People have got to earn their selection based on merit. And I could never really side with Graham Smith being derogatory about Kevin Peterson by saying, if you want to leave, but don't you dare criticize the system just because you don't understand it. He was one of the fortunate ones who had opportunities to play regularly, and fair play to him, he did well. But I always say, it's easy to tell the toiler how best he should carry his pack, but you can't rate the burden's weight until it's been on your back. So, in a nutshell, the quota system isn't perfect. It has produced some really good players of colour and mixed race for South Africa over the years. Both Mr. B and I will remember Herschel Gibbs and Makhaya Antini, among others. Yeah. But some prudence will have to be used, in my opinion. And if you aren't able to get the players you need to form a squad, then you can't just hand out token selections to players unless they're able to, unless they're really able to cut the mustard. And sometimes I think Graham Smith
Give
was
him a penalty, I think.
he fancied himself more as a politician than really anything else, and that really
We've
didn't
got a penalty, England.
it didn't sit well with me. But look, I think it's unfortunate that several players have been lost to the
Oh,
quota
he's got a
system.
goal.
But
It is.
all I can do is that all we can hope is that South Africa doesn't
Could be a
keep making
penalty.
that mistake again and again, and yet hope and history seldom rhymes. I
Yeah.
hope I've said it perfectly.
Yeah, you have, you have. Let's have a look at the net run rate. Balgav did ask it.
Right. They're checking
England
the
will have
penalty,
one
mate.
game where they put up 400. Yeah. Well, only easy game they probably got left is Netherlands and Sri Lanka. So we'll see what happens. Um, I think both of their net run rates are decent. Well, England got a better net run rate than Pakistan. As
He
for
didn't get the ball.
Australia, they need to put in some work. But again, I think Australia, they will need to put in some work. But just one big one, and you're in it. But yeah, they can. It's okay. It's definitely okay. But yeah, we'll see. Same with Bangladesh, leaving out Man Iqbal with one explosive opener.
England got a
And
penalty.
he's also another batsman like Jason Roy. I mean, injuries were cited as the reason why he couldn't be picked, but then there was also another controversy with him and the board and the captain. It's sad when politics plays its role, but así es la vida, c'est la vie. That's the way the biscuit crumbles.
Yeah.
Oh, it could have been sent off, the Italian bloke. Should have been sent off, I think. Sorry, I'm about football here. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. Like I say,
Penalty, Harry Kane. Come on, Harry. Put it in, mate.
and it's skied over the bar.
Here he is, bum bum. Crop them like a Harry Kane.
Don't put it on the moon again, Harry. Don't put it up there, will you?
He's not going to make the same mistakes twice.
No.
He's been good with his penalties. But yeah, let's wrap it up, yeah?
Yeah. Manny, socials?
Instagram, Threads, Manny Thangarai 1981. Twitter, Thangarai 1981. YouTube, over here at the Coach's Corner, and several other channels, Del Boy Gunner TV, Oris Talks Football, Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, shows in all departments, Football United TV, AFC Talk Show TV, and Eugen Spurs Asia TV, and several other channels. Big up as well to Mr. B and his channel, and several others I can't quite name. And as always, thanks a lot for joining, and always remember to keep everything respectful in the chat or online, and let's treat each other the way we'd like to be treated. Enjoy the rest of the sports coming up this week, and thanks once again to everyone for joining. Don't do anything that Hanno, Mr. B, or I wouldn't do. For now, though, adieu to all of you. Have yourselves a good night.
Mr. B, your
well said again, Manny, by the way. Brilliant. And it's 1-1 now, England and Italy. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to this, obviously my channel, Mr. B, Hiver Football Chat, going very well still at Mr. B for Life 182. So obviously all going well with that, getting some good content out. I have recorded the Bees history and I still haven't put it out, so I'm sorry about that, everyone. It will happen at some stage. I've been meaning to. And I was going to put a cricket one out the other day, obviously after losing to Afghanistan, because I was so annoyed. I nearly said a stronger word then, but I fought against it. But anyway, I nearly done that, but I thought, I wouldn't bother because I'll be coming on here at some stage, so I could have a little bit of a rant then on here. But anyway, yeah, things are going well. Got more content out. I had a stream with Stephen today. Obviously, it was on here earlier, the Luton fan. That was good, and done a couple yesterday with Ollie and Bailey yesterday. Got one or two more coming up. I might have Everton Rose coming on. She might be doing one with me, talking about Everton, obviously. So anyway, so look out for all of that. And Carl New Bees and England and in the cricket, hopefully. But we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully England get a double blow tonight. Well, this weekend, sorry. And we beat them in both sports, cricket and rugby. But yeah, as for my socials, free putting into smash like button and subscribe button. Instagram, _coach_corner, Twitter, 170830030, and then TikTok, Coach Corner 1. Be up, Mr. B, be up, everyone in the chat and that has been watching. We are out.